How's everybody doing? This is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I want to talk about the NFL season opener and the big ratings drop from the previous year. I think they had like a 14% drop in the ratings this year compared to 2016 in the season opener. Now, the season opener, I'm not quite sure if it was Thursday last year, but it was Thursday this year, and you had the New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs won the game. It was kind of an upset. I think the Patriots were at home, so that made it even worse, but I digress. Beyond just the upset of the game, the score not being what people expected, beyond that, the ratings drop. Now, people have mixed reactions to this. Now, the first thing, people are just kind of curious and confused, like, hey, what's going on with the ratings? What caused the 14% drop in the ratings? Was there something else going on? Is it Hurricane Irma, all the coverage? Is it political stuff going on? What's really happening? And mind you, last year, during 2016, that was at the height of the campaign. Okay, you're talking about September 2016 in November, the 8th or 9th, right around then. That's when you actually had the election. So it was much more attention drawn towards the election last year than football. So this year, I'm not really sure what's going on. Now, someone trying to take credit for it. They're saying, hey, we're the reason why the ratings have dropped, and some are celebrating it. Okay. Now, this is kind of weird because you have two different camps. All right. On one camp, you have people that are pro Colin Kaepernick. Now, I don't want to beat that dead horse of Colin Kaepernick, but if you don't know what's going on with him, if you're not really sure what the whole kerfuffle is all about, I'll tell you right now. Basically, Colin Kaepernick was or may eventually be an NFL quarterback with the 49ers in San Francisco. And he decided one day he was going to take a knee during the national anthem to, air quotes, protest due to how black men get shot by police, racial injustice, this, that, and the third. I don't want to go down the whole story about him being a guy who was real clean cut, nice guy playing with his big turtle. And then all of a sudden he met some young lady, and then he becomes radicalized, and the cult of social justice warriorism and Black Lives Matterism. So I don't want to go down that road, but you pretty much get it from that little bit of spiel I did right there. Okay, that's what's going on. Some people are saying that they support Colin Kaepernick and his endeavors, so they're going to protest the NFL. They're not going to watch. They're going to just do something else rather than watch the NFL. So they think that they are contributing to the ratings drop, basically in favor of Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling before the national anthem, because right now Kaepernick is not employed by an NFL team, and that whole kneeling before the national anthem kerfuffle has him pretty much where he's at right now. The other side says, you know what? We don't like what Kaepernick did protesting the national anthem, and we don't like what his, I guess you would call them acolytes or followers or copycats are doing either, because Kaepernick was the one that started the whole trend of kneeling for the national anthem for so-called justice, this whole SJW, black fist in the air, that whole thing on the football field. So it's not just him that's doing it. Obviously, he's not in the league anymore, so he can't do it on the field. It's other guys on other teams doing it. It's creating a domino effect. And I saw one situation where it was like 10 guys kneeling at once in a prayer circle. It was very weird, but that's going on now. So you got people that are protesting the NFL because they don't want to see the unpatriotism display in front of them. You have to understand the NFL really is all about patriotism. If you look at the logo, it's basically an American flag, right? Red, white, and blue with stars on it. It's a flag. And then you have the military. They're tied into it. They do flyovers. They sing the national anthem. I mean, the whole thing, the whole shebang. It's part of American culture at this point. And it was made that way during a certain point, some years ago. It was tied to patriotism. Nothing more American than going out there, getting you a hot dog, sitting on your hind parts on Sunday, watching the game, right? Getting you a beer, downing it, and just having a good old time, barbecuing or whatever. It's part of Americana. So then when you disrespect that, and when you just basically thumb your nose to the whole idea of American patriotism and Americana, not everybody likes that. Some people have a deep issue with that. So people are protesting against Kaepernick and what he stands for. So they're not watching the NFL. Okay. So for the teal deer, basically one side supports Kaepernick and they're protesting to get Kaepernick back in the league. and the other side is protesting against Kaepernick and everybody that is doing the same thing he's doing because they don't want to have the non-patriotism be in the league. Okay, so both sides are celebrating, and it's kind of weird. Okay, now to the pro Kaepernick side, that's the worst, because what Kaepernick stands for is allegedly the advancement of black people in America to have us in a better standing. Right now, if that's the actual reason why he's protesting, and it's not for any other reason, it's not because he's trying to get attention or he's trying to become some kind of traveling author, do speaking engagements, public appearances, is that and the third, because he can't play anymore. If it's not that, then it's supposed to be about the advancement of black people. Okay. Now, do you know that the NFL is 70% black as far as the players? Okay. 70% black. Now, if you have a 14% drop in the ratings, doesn't that mean a drop in the money as well? And at the end of the day, who's going to feel that? It's going to be the players on the field. When you're talking about trying to go in to get contract negotiations higher, you got to take that into account. If the ratings are low, if the ticket sales are low, if the merchandise sales are low, if the money that is supposed to come from the NFL is starting to dwindle down, the TV deals not as lucrative, if the owner's money at the end of the day is down, that means all the players on the team, their money will be down as well. And it's not just about the players on the team. It ain't just about, one guy, the running back, the quarterback, whoever. It ain't just about that one guy. You got these people who take care of a lot of other people. I was watching ESPN 30 for 30 Broke, a great documentary. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. It tells a lot about how athletes go broke and also about money management in general that you can apply to your everyday life, even if you're not an athlete. But in this documentary, you had a guy named Bart Scott who's played for the Jets. And he was saying that he takes care of 5 households, not just one person living in an apartment. No, man, woman, child, or children, maybe up to 5 to 6 people in the house. So you're talking about 5 households, maybe 20 people or more. So when you boycott in the NFL, if you're a so-called pro-black, think about what Kaepernick is supposed to stand for. He's standing for the advancement of black people. So how are you going to advance black people when you take away food and water and shelter from people that really need it, that are actually black? Because at the end of the day, that's what that does. What if, a player that's making how much money in the league, a black player, gets a salary cut, or he gets cut from the team in general because they can't afford him anymore? Now, the people that he supports, a lot of them black people in the hood, abject poverty, where's the money come from? Now they're going to be in the worst situation, all because you want to get this half black, half white guy a job in the league. And furthermore, Colin Kaepernick quit his job. Okay. So he quit one job in San Francisco where he had a nice contract, 15 million guarantee. He quit that. He opted out of his contract and tried to test the waters in the free agency market. Okay. And then when it came to free agency, his girlfriend ruined that. You had Ray Lewis trying to get him on the Baltimore Ravens, or at least get him opportunity to go out and try to get on the Ravens. But then what happened? His girlfriend sent some kind of racist tweet against Ray Lewis and the owner, and then the opportunity was gone because of that. Most teams do not want Kaepernick because they feel like he's not good enough to offset the drama he brings. Okay, so when they're trying to bypass that and say, okay, we're not worried about the drama, and then she brings drama to the actual football field, now it's like, okay, we can't have it. So the other side, they're saying, look, we don't like this drama that Kaepernick brought. Even though he's not in the league, there are other guys who are protesting him right now. Like I said, it was like 11 guys in a circle. I think they played for the Cleveland Browns. Really weird stuff. So they don't want that. Now, it's ironic how these guys are probably the main ones. I'm talking about those that are against Kaepernick now, not those that are for it. These guys are the main ones that are responsible for the ratings dip, if anybody is responsible. If you want to say the side for Kaepernick and the side against Kaepernick, which one is more responsible for the ratings drop? Is probably those that are against Kaepernick, because I'm guaranteeing you they outnumber those that are for him. So if anything, it's them that are making the NFL boycott happen and the ratings dip happen. Okay. So it's kind of ironic how those who support Kaepernick talk about white oppression, all this, that, and the third, but yet they want to support people who want to see black folks, 70% of the NFL, make less money. It does not make any sense. But you know what? This is what happens when people get into group think. when they get into groupthink, when they don't think for themselves, when they do not come up with a creative opinion, with an original opinion for themselves, and this is what we end up with. We end up with people not making sound decisions. They go out here, they pretty much just do whatever they want, whatever feels right. It doesn't have to make any sense. As long as it feels good to them, as long as they think they're making the difference, it doesn't matter if they are or if they're not. All that matters is that they think that they are. And that's all you need. But it's really kind of crazy. I just want to get it off of my chest. I think at the end of the day, as I close, this whole situation with the ratings drop, if it was caused by somebody protesting, I think it'll side, because at the end of the day, even if the ratings dip, it's still going to be a highly rated program. But at the end of the day, if the people that support Kaepernick get their way and the NFL was to somehow collapse, what are you going to do all them people, the 70% of the league that's black? I mean, all these people that come from nothing, they come from the hood to become millionaires, who take care of a lot of other black people that also probably live in the hood as well. Abject poverty, people, that may have been homeless before their cousin or their brother or their uncle or something got in the league, and now they got a nice place to stay. What are you going to tell them? Are you going to go to them and say, you know what, the NFL, it is immoral because of the concussion situation. It's immoral because they don't want to hire Colin Kaepernick. At the end of the day, they don't care about that. All they care about is having a warm place to sleep and food to eat. That's it. So what do you think? Do you think this whole situation with the NFL ratings dropping is due to some kind of, protest? Is it because of that, or just because of other things? Like, what is the reason for the NFL ratings drop? I think the main reason would probably be the protest, not because people are trying to protest the NFL due to Kaepernick not being in the league. They're protesting the NFL because of what Kaepernick started. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.